All right, next game we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are favored by 3.5, and the over/under is 55.5. Wow, how the Falcons have fallen. I mean, I guess no one had them exactly winning the Super Bowl coming into the season, but I thought with the rise of Calvin Ridley, they got Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, they just got Todd Gurley. They already had Tevin Coleman's on the. They had Brian Hill as the backup. Sorry, Tevin Coleman, wasn't he on the Falcons? He's on the 49ers now. But they got Todd Gurley in there. Brian Hill's a great backup. You've seen him bust for 40-plus yard runs. He's a great runner and great backup to Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley's been playing great and everything, but the Falcons just can't pull that. They have Matt Ryan, like an MVP. We've been to the Super Bowl quarterback, a good quarterback. You wouldn't consider him a dud. So I thought with Calvin Ridley balling, with Julio, with Hayden Hurst at tight end, I was like, how they're going to be the surprise. Forget the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers might be there. They might get 2 out of. The Saints might even get bounced out. I liked the Falcons. I was really high on them. I loved them coming into the season. I thought this was their year again. But not happening now. No, it was come from behind wins or losses for them. 2 in a row or 3 in a row. I don't know at this point. They just can't win a game. They're bad, and it's sad. It's sad. They have fallen to a place where the Minnesota Vikings are favored 3.5 over them, and the Vikings are terrible this year. Usually the Vikings, since Kirk has been there and stuff, have been pretty solid. But trading away Stephon Diggs hasn't. I guess they got Justin Jefferson, and he's been a great second guy to replace Stephon Diggs. I'll give him that, even though Diggs is balling in Buffalo, but that's with Josh Allen. He's better than Kirk Cousins, so let's be honest here, and the price difference is enormous. But yeah, so the Vikings, you always thought, though, would be solid. They're terrible this year, especially on defense. They're young on defense. They can't stop anyone on defense. So that's why the over-under, yeah, bet the over here. The Falcons are going to do the Falcons. They're going to score 30 points, but they're going to lose. And so that means if they score 30, the Vikings are going to score more. So I think the over will be achieved there very easily. That'll be no problem. They'll get 60 or more. So confidently bet the over. But, I'm going to do this again and just be an idiot for it. But I'm going to bet the Falcons here. I want to think the Falcons can win this game. They can beat, the Vikings are terrible on defense, especially against the pass. I got to think Calvin Ridley is going to go off again. You get Julio Jones back finally. He's been injured. He was injured again. That could be why they lost to the Panthers. It was a hard-fought game. They needed someone just to bring them over that edge, and Julio wasn't there. So I'm just thinking with getting Julio back, with Calvin Ridley as good as he is, I hope. It's more of a hope now. I don't even know if I think. But I got the Falcons winning this. I think they can pass. Matt Ryan can pass enough to Calvin Ridley and Julio, and they'll beat the corners every time because the Vikings corners are terrible. And they got to score more points. I just got to believe that. Todd Gurley's been balling. He looks healthy right now. So in fantasy, I'd bet either of those guys are slam dunks, I think. Todd Gurley, Calvin Ridley, and even Julio Jones, I think, will get points. I think this will be a shootout here. A lot of points scored because neither defense can stop anyone. I mean, I'm saying the Vikings defense is terrible against the pass. Look at the Falcons. They're pretty bad, too. So either way, it's going to be a close game and everything. So, yeah, it's just, I just think that either way, it's going to be a close game, but I just think the Falcons got to score more than Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I know Dalvin Cook's back there, and Dalvin Cook's going to have a Dalvin Cook game. He's going to go crazy. But I think Todd Gurley can at least somewhat keep up with him. And I just think Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, that two-pack is better than Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. And, I mean, and Hayden Hurst is better at tight end than Kyle Rudolph. So you just gotta, I would say Hayden Hurst is, at least pass catching wise. I don't know about blocking, but pass catching wise, I would say he is. And Calvin Ridley's just amazing every week. He's obviously going to score 20 plus, basically guaranteed. Also at this point, one of our 20 plus guarantees, basically. Dalvin Cook is too. So I mean, a lot of players to start on daily fantasy or season long here, because it's a really high scoring shootout, fun game. Not fun for the defenses, but fun for everyone else. So yeah, I'd bet Julio I'd be cautious on. I'm going to be honest, finally, if I have him in season long, I'm cautious. He'll come back this week. He'll be back, but I'd be cautious with him. I mean, yeah, he'll probably, knowing my advice, he'll probably score 20 or more, but I'd be cautious with him. I don't even know if I'd start him in season, daily. I'd be nervous too. So, but Calvin Ridley, is going to go off, get that 20 plus. I love Todd Gurley still. I think Todd Gurley has another big game. Even Brian Hills has some flex appeal, but Hayden Hurst might get some points here. He's boomer bust, but, I think everyone's in line for possibly a big game against the Vikings defense is my point. Everyone's in line for possibly a big game. Same thing on the Vikings side. You got Dalvin Cook. You're guaranteed 20 plus every week. You might as well write that down. We don't even have to play the game. Dalvin Cook's got 20. Adam Thielen, same thing probably. I mean, he's been destroying. I think he scored, 34 last week? I mean, he's destroying defenses right now, so he'll definitely destroy the Falcons. So, yeah, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, I think he'll have a bounce-back game. He had a weak game last week. I think he'll have a bounce-back game this week. So, I mean, really, because anyone at the skill possession is going to score. So, I think Justin Jefferson is a good value pick out there. His value probably dropped a little bit, so maybe you catch him a little cheaper and play him in daily. But besides that, it's the obvious. It's the Adam Thielens, the Dalvin Cooks, the Calvin Ridleys, and the Todd Gurleys of the world. And Julio, just be cautious. I think Julio could come back, and with this game where you got some easy Vikings corners, he could have a huge game, but I'd just be cautious with him coming off that injury again. He's just injury prone at this point, especially ankles. So I'd start him at your own risk. But yeah, I think it's all the obvious guys here, and it's going to be a huge shootout, fun for fantasy game. And I am risking it. I'm trying it one more time. The Falcons win and cover, and bet the over easily. It'll be in the 60s. And the Falcons will finally get a win here against the Vikings D. So, yes, I am going to confidently and comfortably pick the Falcons. The Falcons are going to win over the terrible Vikings D. And hopefully the Falcons D won't be just as terrible. They'll be a little less terrible. Falcons win here. Let's hope.